Home and Security Editor Mark White. Mark's live there on Dover. And Mark, you know, I was just replying to a lot of the emails that are coming in, and people are they're quite firm, and, you know, you could look at this and say quite cold about this. I said maybe if you were standing where you're standing, it would be hard to say don't let them in.
Good morning, Eamon and Isabel. Yes, I mean, listen, it's a very complicated issue, and there are issues around certainly those who are trying to get across here because they are fleeing persecution and quite horrific conditions in countries like Syria and now Afghanistan. But there are other issues, of course, around whether these people should have claimed asylum in the first safe country they reached rather than travelling through a number of safe countries to get to the UK and to cross in that way. And amongst them as well is a very significant number who are coming across for a better life economically, who are not necessarily fleeing war-torn countries, certainly fleeing countries where the conditions and the governments are at best very dysfunctional, but not necessarily those that you would classify as refugees. So it's a complicated issue. I think the one thing we can all agree on, though, Eamon, is that what is happening at the moment in terms of these criminal networks, organised criminal gangs, pushing them out into very unsafe boats to cross the English Channel is just not on. It is very dangerous. We saw that in November of last year with at least 27 people that we know of who drowned in that incident in the English Channel. And as you come to me, I can confirm to you, breaking news this morning, that the first migrant boat of 2022 is now in the process of being intercepted in the English Channel. It has been escorted, we understand, by a French vessel from France. That's something that infuriates our viewers and listeners as well, of course. And it is being now intercepted by the border force vessel Hurricane, which is on its way to meet that French escort. The French will say that, well, they can't stop and turn these boats back, because if they try to do that, the migrants on board threaten to jump in the water. It's just not safe to do that. And of course, the goal of those on the boat is to get picked up by a UK vessel. So as soon as they see border force arriving, well, it's job done for them, and they will absolutely comply and go aboard the border force vessel, but they're not as compliant, clearly and understandably from their point of view, in going aboard a French vessel. That's the French argument anyway.